Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Silver 25th Anniversary Tournament. Oh, but we have 2 out of the 4 players. We need the 4 plates in layout. Sorry.
Oh.
So, yeah, we need to. So,
very classic production here. We'll get this figured out real fast. Get all 4 players on screen.
yeah. So, whoops.
Though I don't actually know how to do that. So if we have any,
You
lightning
should.
pirates in the chat or SpeedGaming
SpeedGaming
admins.
staff.
Thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Just one moment here while we get the 4-person layout set up for this very exciting qualifying round match.
Yeah. We're dealing with. We have 4 of the top 10 best players in the game currently, topped off by Domirae, who is the reigning champion of the game at the moment.
Yeah, we got Dom and Metallica, 2 of the most famous vets in the scene, and then we have 2 relative newcomers in Domirae or admsc and Nateman.
Yeah, we're having. So uh-oh. We're having some stream issues. Okay. They said they should be fixed, so hopefully it should be coming in soon. And we will be rerouting to the Silver 25th Anniversary Tournament 4-player.
Okay, they're telling us it should be fixed, so let's try and go back to the race layout and see what it looks like here. There we go. There we go. All right. Everything is all fixed now.
Okay, we are all ready to go on this really epic qualifier between, yeah, you're dealing with 4 of the best players in this game currently, which is kind of insane.
Indeed. I'm gonna get the countdown done here, and then I will talk about the match real quick and get everyone started.
Yeah, it looks like Homura is passing the time by doing some bunta training. And we have a timer by Metallica, and we also have a timer by Domirae.
Oh, we got a last minute hang on from Esme, the SpeedGaming admin, very kind. And so we'll be starting off on Vengeance, and players will have 20 minutes to get the best possible time they can.
Yeah. This is a absolutely brutal track. It can kill you at any point. But knowing these players, all of them will probably be going flat out.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to bear with us here, as we've now got some other minor technical difficulties with stream lag, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm also being told that my mic is very quiet, which is odd because it doesn't seem that quiet according to my way of monitoring it here. So I'm not sure what's going on there either.
Okay. Just waiting on our runners.
It would not be the pod racing championship without a few minor technical difficulties in the opening matches. So you're getting the true experience here, and yeah, we appreciate everyone. We'll be underway here very shortly, and apparently I can now be heard, which is very good. So hello everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just waiting on it. It looks like I'm not so sure. It looks like Dom might have paused, and I'm not so sure about the. Oh, here we go. I've seen some movement from Nate, but it's running like a slideshow.
Yeah, I think we have some SpeedGaming volunteers that are doing their best to try and get the lag issues resolved here. It seems like there might be an issue with the sync on the restream and some catching up happening in the streams. But as soon as we get the okay to go, we will get underway. So just sit tight for a moment here. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. So you might have noticed how all the players are using at least 2 players. So the track favorite for this track in Fud Sang. In the lore, he's serving 4 life sentences in Uvu 4, yet neither the Legends canon nor the Disney canon has explained why he's serving 4 life sentences in Uvu 4 after 25 years of being introduced into the lore.
Yeah, and after all that, Futsang isn't even very good at this track. It's somewhat tragic.
Yeah. This track is run optimally at the highest possible traction of 60 frames per second at R600 traction.
Okay, I think we are now actually good to go. Everyone's stream is running smoothly, and I will now do what I said I was going to do several minutes ago and give the countdown real quick, and we'll get started here.
Yep. Here we go. Tell me when you give the countdown, because I'll start I have my own timer ready to go.
All right, and we are now underway.
Here we go.
So, yes, once again, players have 20 minutes to get the fastest possible 3-lap full track time they can on Vengeance, which is one of the most punishing tracks in the amateur circuit.
It's honestly one of the most punishing tracks in the game, in my opinion.
Yes, at a high level, it's very challenging to execute correctly, yeah, it's really it's going to be interesting to see how these players handle it. And yeah, so today we got Dom on the top left, who is the sort of undisputed king of full track. He definitely holds the record on this track in this category by a decent margin. Then we have Metallica in the bottom right. He's a veteran of a similar number of years, maybe even longer than Dom, actually. I'm not sure.
He's participated in every tourney since we started doing it for the 20th anniversary back in 2019.
Yeah, he is one of the few players that can claim that, and very impressive stuff from him every year. I've faced off against him, and he's knocked me out in prior years, and yeah, very fearsome competitor. And then we have 2 newcomers who have joined the community within the last year and a half. They both joined, I believe, in 2023. Nateman and admsc or Hamura. And they have been putting together some incredibly strong times in full track and some in skips as well. Just all over the place, just these two people that have shown up and really shown that they have exactly what it takes to be a tough competitor in this game. So
that's like we're seeing 102s from Domirae and Home Run for first lap. So
yeah, we're seeing some really strong stuff right off the bat here, and some resets. Yeah, I mean, with the amount of time that they have, we expect to see a lot of resetting. You know, players have plenty of time to, you know, sort of go for broke. Well, generally the strategy in qualifying is you want to like get a time in the first few minutes that's not, you know, the very fastest you can do, and then you just try to improve upon that in the time you have.
yeah, yeah. So, and this track, now we're seeing Dom going into the cog shaft, which will kill you. Ooh, that was a bad bonk.
Yep.
Home run with a 1 minute .94. Ooh. So yeah. Yeah, we're seeing, yeah, you're dealing with 4 of the top 10 players, 4 of the best players in this game currently. It's kind of crazy that we got them all the race on this one time.
Yeah, it is it will probably be, I think, yeah, it has to be basically the most stacked qualifying round that we'll have here.
So, yeah, this anti-gravity tube, this long portion on a 64. This tube is just brutal because
Metallica comes in with
305. It looks 305.146. Home Run coming in with a 303.324.
Nice. Yeah, those are both crazy times. So for perspective for the viewers at home, the world record on this track is a 301.5, and getting anything under a 305 is incredibly impressive. I mean, getting anything under like a 308 is incredibly impressive. And so for these two runners to get a 303 and a 304 just like that is incredibly incredibly good.
Yeah, all these players are going to go flat out. So, Nateman coming up on his second lap, 101.38 second lap.
Metallica came in with a 305.146 there, which is a solid base time. He can do better than that, I think, but it's definitely a great starting spot.
Yeah. This. Whoa! I could see that going wrong for Homer as soon as he bonked. It's like you need like surgical precision to do this. That boost hold.
Indeed. Yeah, so I guess in terms of the strategy of this track, what it comes down to really at a high level is not necessarily the turns, though those are difficult, and the tube, which is you need to have that practiced and memorized in order to not crash in it, but more than that, it comes down to when you boost and when you don't boost. And sorry, as I say that, Nateman coming in with a 304.
304.9896 or 984.
I think that's an 064.
That looks like an 064, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is what we're dealing with here. It's like 4 great players that are going to come in with extremely close times, and I mean that's just crazy to have 3 runners in the same match putting in 304s and 303s.
4 in this case, which is even more insane. There we go. Domirae going into his second lap. It is a 1 minute .61.
Yep, and that is unlikely to be a real, genuine PB there. It's probably just that he recently reset his, his
Yeah.
local database, but that
Yeah.
is an incredibly good time, regardless.
Yeah. There we go. Into the cog shaft. Usually the critical thing is using your heat. Ideally, you need to heat up before the speed portion of the boost kicks in. So this is where Domirae is going to do it. He's going to try to heat up going past this, so the tube now has the speed, right, and he takes advantage of that to cool down and then boost later in the tube.
Metallica with a slight improvement on his time before with a
It looks like a
305.050.
It's, yeah. And here we go. It looks like Domirae is coming in with his first solid run.
Yeah, Dom has not finished a run yet. This will be the first one. And despite
302
that,
with a crash to the finish and a 302.805 or 505.
I believe that's a 505. But yeah, just blowing everyone else out of the water despite, well, not blowing them out, but, beating everyone else's qualifying plans there, despite crashing at the end and with a unideal bonk coming out of the final tube there. So, yeah, very impressive stuff.
Yeah. And there we see 101 first lap from Domirae. Much insanely fast for a first lap here.
Yeah. So yeah, getting to P almost, between 1/3 and halfway done. We already have 4 top tier times on the board.
Yeah.
We haven't really, set it flat out yet, but it's basically incredibly unlikely that any of these players will end up outside of the top bracket. So I guess, yeah, a little bit about the format this year. There's going to be 2 separate brackets, or possibly, wait, are there 3 now? Because we have a bunch of late entrants now.
If one more joins, we will have 3 brackets.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, players that qualify into the top bracket of 8 people, they will only be competing against each other, and that will be the top 8 people that finish in the tournament. And then those that qualify into the lower bracket will then compete against each other, and there'll be 2 separate competitions in essence.
Yeah.
It's very likely that all 4 of these players will end up in the top bracket. So this is sort of a prelude to what we can expect from them in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see that because there's the other runners who are very likely going to go into the top bracket are going to qualify towards the end, and Ace, Harold Shoemaker, and Mikey Berger.
Yeah, we've had a lot of sort of heavyweights entering the tournament sort of at the 11th hour, which is very cool to see. We have the potential to see a Mikey Berger repeat this year. We got Ace coming in, it's the 25th anniversary. It's time to go big or go home.
For sure.
We got Nateman.
303.
Nateman comes in with a 304.282 and a Homura time, which I did not actually see.
I didn't. Yeah, it was a 303, but I didn't know if it was a faster 303.
I assume that it wasn't, or he would have stopped on the screen, hopefully, for our excellent tracker Balmas to note down, but yeah, hopefully that was not a PB there.
Yeah. Now we have Metallica entering his final lap. So, Metallica's doing the old strat of boosting from down that first straight and stopping at the figure 8. That's actually something that I think I created I believe I was the first one to do that back in like 2010, 11, 12.
Yeah, so the general strategy, we see all 4 players in the tube. The general strat here is you want to boost as little as possible in the tube, because the tube makes you go faster, and the more time you can spend on that fast terrain, the better. So boosting, it's sort of counterintuitive, but you don't want to boost in the area.
Oh man, Metallica's going to come in with a time. I think he's going to bust it.
Oh, he almost explodes there, though, and he ends up
305.181, it looks like.
Yeah, not an ideal finish there. He had a better time going, but just unable to clutch it out there.
Yeah. Black flagged at the last lap. So, but this is what I mean. We now have we have all these players now are all 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the qualifier with vengeance in just one fell swoop.
Yep. A little upper bracket action here.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And one other thing is that if you see on Vengeance, if you look at that giant purple binder that looks like a giant version of the Pod Racer binder, that's the reactor core beam. That thing is so deadly, it will kill you even with invincibility cheats on.
Indeed. It is sort of just hard-coded there to split your pod in half.
So
yeah, I think so. What we're seeing from Dom, I think, is just very standard stuff here. No real surprises. Metallica, likewise. I think Metallica is looking, not necessarily in his top form that I've ever seen him. This is just from the glances I've been trying to pay attention to a bunch of things at once. But so far, what I'm seeing from Metallica, it doesn't look like he's necessarily, at 100%, but he's still putting in some strong times. And Nateman and Hamura are just tearing it up. I mean, especially given their experience level, and this is sort of their first entrance, the first time we've seen them in tournament. Well, not in Hamura's case. I think Hamura was competing.
Well, I think we have a 302 from 302.952 from Hamura.
Wow, that is crazy. Nice job, Hamura, getting a 302 there. It's a 302.952, and so yeah, I mean that would have been a world record time. Like what? Like in 2021, something like that. Not very long ago.
Sure.
Point is, it's an incredible time.
Yeah. So here we go. Oh, I'm amazed Dom avoided that cog shaft.
Looks like Dom's on pretty good pace here.
Yeah, he's on a really solid pace. One other thing, too, about playing this game at high frame rates, particularly on Vengeance, is that you can run the risk of soft locking into the rocks if you crash just the wrong way. Oh, man. Dom just going flat out. This is going to be a really fast time. And we have a 301.87. 301.874.
That is 0.3 off the world record.
And I saw that his last lap was under a minute.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to beat. It's going to be hard to beat no matter how good Nateman's run is here.
This is going to be it, but it's going to be an insanely fast time, too. Here we go.
Yep, gets a great boost there. Low 304 looks like. Yep,
304.063.
I mean, that's great. That's like, anyone will be happy to have that time of difference.
Yeah. Yeah, this track is just so brutal. And it's even more brutal at low frame rates because tilting in the tubes at low frame rates is practically certain death.
Yeah, this is among my personal least favorite tracks in the game, just because it sort of depends a lot on sort of memorization of patterns. Like everyone tries to do the tube the same way every lap, and then like your heat patterns are just sort of set in stone in terms of what's optimal. And I mean, it's a very strategic track, so it's very interesting in some ways. But yeah.
This is my second most hated track after Abyss Full. I'll take Gravine Gateway over Vengeance.
Nice.
So, yeah, this is just insane.
It looks like our qualifying sheet has exploded a little bit.
Oh! Oh! What a bummer for Humra.
Oh,
Is
man.
Humra quitting while he's ahead? Oh, look. Because there's enough time on the clock for one more time plus a restart.
Yep, you are allowed to restart a run until the timer expires, so...
But if you are in the middle of a run while the time expires, you are able to continue it.
Indeed.
Domirae getting a 101, and he's restarting there.
Yeah, and yeah, we saw Hamra consider just sitting on his excellent time there, but he does elect to continue trying to do a couple more runs here. We'll see what they can do in the last minutes here.
Yeah, we're running out of time. So, ooh, Nateman crashes on the final lap. Metallica on his last lap. Let's see what he comes up with if he can make it through.
Metallica's looking quite good here. This should be on pace for, I think, maybe a high 303.
Not so sure. Let's just see how it goes. Here he goes.
Oh, it gets a bonk there. It's unfortunate.
It's a 304.73. I don't think that is faster. But he has time for one more attempt if he wants to do it. 304.732. So I'm not so sure if that is his fastest time.
Yeah, I think before that he only had a 305. I think his fastest time up until that point was a very, very low 305, so that was an improvement on what he had before. But
okay. Let's see. Yep, I have 1 minute left on Dom's clock. I have 30 seconds now left on the clock for the timer starts, so these are probably going to be our last attempts. Metallica starting on the buzzer.
yeah, we see Metallica's timer there, bottom right. We see Dom's, and we'll just be, we'll be on the honor system here in terms of the final restarts here. It looks like this will be Hummer's last run, though.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, right. He got nails. Oh my god. Has
nice.
302.974 or 874. I think that might have tied his.
Yeah, I forget the decimals on his other time. Oh no, it's off by 200ths there. So.
Okay, it looks like Homeright is gonna quit now, and we're just having, and looks like Domirae's calling it. He has a 301.951, which I think is not quite the same speed that he had. Yeah, he went slightly faster before the buzzer ended. So, we're just waiting on Nateman and Metallica to finish up their runs.
Yep, these are their final runs. We'll just have to see if they can improve on what they have. Metallica, obviously, Metallica going for a lower 304, and Nateman, I think he also has a. Did he get a 303 already, or does he still have his low 304?
I have no idea. This has just been insane to watch.
Yeah, I think Nate is still sitting on a 304.063, so this is going to be close.
Okay, he held it.
Yeah,
this
great
might
stuff
be.
there.
I think he just hit a high 303, 303.821.
Nice. That is a PB on what he had for sure.
And now we see Dom and Homura now practicing the next track in the qualifier, Zuga. So, it looks like Domirae is taking a stroll down Mongaza Speedway, which Zuga Challenge holds all but one turn with it. And now we see Homura practicing Zuga.
It's a new lap record.
This is what I mean by having all players go flat out here. Oh, I thought for a second Metallica was going to die to the rock. Here we go.
He's flying by the
Bonks, but he
seat of his
takes a
pants.
really fast time. Certainly a fast 304.74. That might be slightly faster. 304.736. I think that is faster by just a few hundredths of a second.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's pretty hard to describe to a potential first-time viewer just sort of what they're seeing here. But yeah, this is some excellent stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and get us started, make sure everybody's ready, and then get us started on the next track, Zuga Challenge.
Yeah. So.
Do we have a prescribed like warm-up period between tracks, or is it sort of just?
I remember. I don't know. I just remember during matches we had 3 to 4 minutes, 3 minutes, I think. But usually, but I know we sometimes have done 5-minute breaks for a qualifier in the past.
Yeah, it's all right. I think we'll just tell everyone to post when they're ready, and then I'll get the countdown.
Yeah, like they can get a few minutes to prepare, and time's already up, so we already see. So you're gonna see with Zuga. So, yep, Metallica is on Zuga. We're just waiting for Nateman to switch over. He might just be taking a break up. Here we go. See Nateman switching over to Zuga.
Yep, and so we are about to move on to the second track of 3. Where it's going to be, we just saw Vengeance, and then we're seeing Zuga Challenge, and our last one will be Sevulpa's Legacy. Zuga Challenge is the longest course in qualifying, so players will have a little bit more time than they did on Vengeance, just to ensure that they can get a good time in. And yeah, right now we are just we're going to wait for everybody to say they're ready, and then we'll get the countdown for that timer to start.
And also, Zuga is the track that we became known just for its killer dozer at the end.
Yep, and we see Nateman doing a little traction resetting. Yeah, players have different. Most players will probably go lower frame rate here. They will, while they went 60 frames per second on Vengeance. You're much more likely to see something like 30 or even 24.
Yeah, it's just it's a pretty crazy gun. But yeah, this is, and I expect just like Vengeance, we're gonna see the top 4 current qualifying the past times in the previous matches get smashed here.
All right, and the countdown has been given, and the players will be off momentarily for track 2 of this excellent qualifying round between Dom Metallica, Nateman, and admsc/Hamura.
Yeah, this is going to be, yeah. Especially, I'm going to give thanks to one of our server members at Knock for creating the Dozer awareness sticker, which we'll be using in qualifying a lot, I bet.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You can enjoy that sticker and others by joining the Star Wars Ep1 Racer Discord. We got a Botto, we got a robot version of Watto, we got memes, we got speedruns, we got it all. So head on over if you're interested in joining the community. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And all right, so now we're on to Zugga Challenge. And yeah, so Zugga Challenge is known as a track that I would say it's definitely less difficult than Vengeance. It's on the semi-pro circuit, so it's a little bit further on in the game, but it's generally not quite as hard, at least at a at a moderate competitive level. It's like you can get it's easier to get a decent time on this than it is on a lot of tracks. The main feature of this that makes it difficult is timing your laps with the dozer on lap 3, which is the inspiration for the dozer awareness sort of meme there. Because if the dozer here that Dom crashes prematurely before hitting the dozer, the objective on this track is to avoid that at all costs. And if you are on the right pace and timing things just right, you'll miss it successfully on all 3 laps. But if you're off time a little bit, then you have to know where that dozer is going to be to avoid crashing and losing 3 to 4 seconds.
And given the pace all these players on, the dozer is certainly going to be in a precarious position on lap 3 for them.
Yeah, and I haven't actually been paying attention. I didn't see if Dom is like waiting the cutscene. You'll see some players wait through the beginning of the track on-track cutscene.
It doesn't work quite as well on Zugga as it does on Spice Mine Run.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because usually the dozer is in a blind spot out of your view, and it's not much of a deal to deal on lap 1. Lap 2, it's usually somewhat up the hill, and then lap 3 on a really good pace, it's just right on top of the hill.
Yeah, I was definitely I was thinking of Spice Mine Run there. I don't run Zugga Challenge a lot because I consider it to be somewhat snoozy. I sort of fall asleep when I'm on it, but that's not to say that these guys can't deliver some exciting performances here.
Yeah. So there we see it's in a more medium position. Whoa, that was a little precarious, and Nate crashes in the corkscrew cage, which I give credit to Radiant Variant for coming up with that.
Oh, the corkscrew cage, that's what he calls it?
Yeah, he calls that portion the corkscrew cage.
That makes sense.
Oh, black flagged on the last lap for Hamura.
That's unlucky. Yeah, you don't want to crash there. Like, I mean, we're seeing Nateman continue despite crashing just because he wants to get a time in and just have that to sit on, which on a track this long is a pretty good idea, I'd say.
Yeah, this track is super long, but we have a 126 from Metallica. We should be paying attention because Nateman crashed. I'm not so sure if the dozer is in a better spot because of it.
Yeah, I think on the pace that... Wait, sorry, who crashed? Was it...
Nateman was the one who crashed.
Okay, yeah, I think on his pace, he is going to be in trouble at the end of lap 3 here. I think he might end up with a dozer collision. But we'll see. It's coming up.
Yeah, and Metallica is also coming up on his final lap with the dozer. Up, Domirae takes a bonk and resets. Here we go. Metallica in tricky turn, which also Nateman cred, and then into the lava jump before climbing this side for the steep climb, which is actually Spice Mine Run in reverse. Let's see if he knows how to avoid the dozer.
Yeah, so it's going to be right at the top of the steps here, and that's an instant explosion. Yep.
Yep. The safest option is to brake hard, but if you're at a high level, you'll try to cut through the dozer and in through the treads and out of the dozer, which requires tilting.
Yep. And unfortunately, the collision of the dozer does not, of course, match its visual model. So you might think like, oh, why doesn't he just sort of go over it or go around it? But the story's not that simple. Even if you go perfectly over it, you're still gonna completely crash and burn on it there. So really nothing you can do if you're Nateman and you're on that sort of pace and you crash. Unfortunately, for those kind of seeking a safe time here, they're going to have to either go the slow route around the dozer if they crash, or just reset if they crash. So
This and just the collision detection in this game is just super wonky.
Yeah, and as Radiant pointed out, we got a 424.589 on Metallica. We got a lot going on here.
Crashed.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here. Didn't see him cross the finish line there, but that is a excellent time.
Most people can't even get that without a death, I meant to say. And Homura now on his final lap.
Yeah, so the world record here is a 4:14, but realistically anything or in the sub like 4:23, 4:22 is like just top tier, especially in this situation.
Yeah.
And all right, it looks like Homura is coming up on the end of his first lap 3. I don't think he's taking a death. It looks like a deathless run, yeah.
It looks like a deathless run, but usually the part people die in the run is the dozer on lap 3, particularly on the pace they're going.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay here. No, it's going to be at the top.
Yep, here it is.
Oh, he's able to. Yep, he's able to go around to the right.
Oh, this is going to be a really fast time. Ooh,
yeah, this is a...
Oh
no! Oh my god!
Crashes to the finish with a 418.105.
Oh, Homura's got to be so tilted right now. Oh, and he got a game crash after finishing the race. Oh, did he just tab out? What's going on? Yeah, I think he crashed out.
I saw him get, I think it was a 418.105. He crashed to the finish with a 105. With a 418.105.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's incredible. It's going to be hard for him to improve upon that. Even with that just, awful finish there, I think it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. And here we go, Metallica clearing, hit the second lap dozer.
Yep, like a graceful ballerina sailing through the air. Yeah, and if you are inspired to, you want to see what the collision on that dozer looks like, there's now a nice collision viewer, which allows you to actually see what these tracks look like for, for seeing what you hit and what you don't hit. And it's a nice new tool that was just developed and came out.
Also, the other thing too about collision in this game is that when what determines you crashing a lot isn't actually how much damage you take, but the speed reduction from when you hit something. If you hit and you don't lose much speed, you'll survive. But if you take too high of a speed drop, Nateman clears it. We're gonna see a fast time from him. Oh my god. High 418 point, it looks like a 418.88.
Yep.
And we have a 418.882.
Very strong time there from Nateman. These two, Homura and Nateman, they're just they're just ready-made rivals for one another, and it's really awesome to see them coming in with these times that are so competitive with one another.
And here we go, Metallica approaching the 3-lap dozer. This time he dodges it. Oh, those are going to be fast too. It looks like a 419, 418.97.
Excellent stuff.
418.971 for Metallica.
Yep. Great work from Metallica there. A nice, strong time. And they still have 15 minutes left here, so they can really go for broke in these last, these last 15 minutes. Dom, again, is the only one who hasn't put up a time yet.
But he's on his final lap.
Yeah, I don't know my ZC well enough, but I would expect that Dom is on probably like a 4:16 or 4:15 pace, perhaps even a bit faster.
Not so sure. Here we go. Final corkscrew cage for him. There you see, this is the thing also with the game where turning does not make you lose speed, so the tighter the line, the better it is in this game.
Indeed. Yeah, sliding is sort of the main mechanic there, and controlling your traction to get around corners is... Hamra narrowly escapes disaster with the dozer there.
Let's see here. Here comes Domirae up on the final lap dozer.
Ooh, that was close. He almost biffed that, but he narrowly escapes a certain death. Oh gosh, you hate to see that. About to finish his first run, probably on 4:15 pace, high 4:15, and yeah, just biffs it there.
So. Another. Looks like Hamra's on his final lap, so we have another chance. Will he beat his 418 that he did with a crash to the finish?
Yeah, Hamra's got to be kicking himself about that time, because it was on much better pace than 418, but just couldn't quite clutch it at the end.
Yeah, the dozer on lap 3 is the killer part.
And so yeah, I think what Dom's thinking here is, I just need to get the time, because like time's kind of running out, and like he's not gonna go for broke here. I wouldn't expect. Ooh.
Okay, Hamra's now at a much better pace. He got a 417.774. 417.774 for Hamra.
Excellent. Let's see if Nateman can one-up him here, entering his third lap. Yeah, Hamra and Nateman, both players I've really enjoyed watching. Hamra in particular has been streaming a bunch lately, and I've caught a lot of his streams, and I find his approach to the game really interesting. He's very technical, very particular about tiny details, practicing them over and over again to get them just perfect, and it's a very laudable sort of approach to the game. It's very cool to see. And Nateman streams a lot too. I have not caught as many of his streams, but I know he's a similarly dedicated player that really has what it takes to be a top-level player.
Oh man. Here we go. Nateman on, just getting ready to be now at the final lap dozer.
This is going to be tight. He has to get around to the right just perfectly here. Oh, and
he does it!
He cuts it super close, loses a lot of speed there. It's not going to be the best time.
Yeah, that grind cost him.
So if you're that late for the dozer, then your only recourse is to just completely hug that right wall as tight as you can. But if you hug it that tightly, then you just rub into it and lose all your speed and ruins your finish, which is what happened there.
Oh. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully Domirae will not be black flagged on the last lap again.
Yep, he's just got to get a time here. Meanwhile, yeah, Metallica down there, bottom right, just plugging away, doing Metallica things, doing great.
Yeah. Go.
I don't know what Metallica's favorite track is. Do you know?
I don't know. Come on. Here we go. Is he gonna have better luck this time?
Yeah, we'll see how Dom negotiates the final dozer here. He's on an ideal pace, can just squeak by there.
That's gonna be way better. Yeah, this is gonna be a 415.12. 415.125 or 128. It looks like a 125.
Pretty amazing stuff there. Dom could just go make a coffee, go make a snack. He could just sit back now, having that time.
But knowing these players are going to go flat out till the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, he really doesn't need to, but he will, which is great. And so, yeah, now Metallica, the player to watch, about to finish up his lap 3 here. Looks like he's on pretty strong pace. I think this is like a 417.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Ooh. Okay, he's now on the climb to face the dozer.
He's a little behind. He's gonna have to. It's gonna be pretty tight here. Okay, he makes it okay though.
Looks like it's not going to be quite as fast though.
Yeah.
418.76. That looks like it might have been just off by maybe a hundredth or hundredths of a second.
Yeah, I think that's
761.
That is a narrow improvement on Nateman's time, but not on Hamura's.
Metallica came in with a 418.761, but I don't think that is like faster by like hundredths of a second, or it's around hundredths of a second of his best time.
Yeah. So time is beginning to run low. All 4 players do have quite solid times again, so what we're seeing here is just whether they can really go for broke and pull out something clutch in the last few minutes here.
For sure.
Nateman's time there, his best right now is a 418.882. So yeah, Taka just barely beating that out. And yeah, it's going to be a great tournament this year. I'm very excited to see all these players in the further rounds. You know, we got really fun qualifying, but once the head-to-head matches start, that's when it really gets pretty thrilling. And
we have a few other players who are also really solid yet to come out. Ace, Harold Shoemaker, and Mikey Berger.
Indeed, yep. Harold Shoemaker is another sort of Nateman / Hamura type player, new to the game in the last year and a half, around there, and just completely putting up savage times, just tearing it up. Just like his stream is amazing, playing all sorts of games at a super high level, but is really sort of a natural born pod racer. It's been a lot of fun to watch as well.
Yeah, he especially got a knack for Gravine Gateway, which is the most winding and brutal track of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, really diving into the game like at its hardest point, which is always fun to see. But back to the situation at hand here, we got Hamra finishing up a nice lap 3, and it's hard for me to tell, but I believe this will be an improvement on his current time if he can clutch it out.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Not perfect dozer negotiation there, but pretty good.
Oh,
Oh gosh!
another
man.
crash to the finish.
Hamra,
417.842 or 642. Not quite fast enough. He came within like maybe a tenth or a hundredth of within tenths to a hundredth of a second of his record.
yeah, Hamra just can't clutch out that ending. It's dogging him here, and it continues to. That's just an unfortunate final corner there. Oh yeah, it's a terrible place, but it is the most common place to lose your run. Is the final corner. Well, I mean that's not actually true, but a lot of runs are lost at the final corner.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, the third lap dozer is just the hardest part of it on record pace.
Yeah, and then once you have that, sort of the surge of adrenaline comes to get you, and it's tough. Nateman here on similar pace to his prior run. We'll see if he can do a better finish here. It looks like he still lost some speed there, so I think this will be another high 418.
Yep, another high 418. 418.910 it looks like.
Yep, so not PBing there, but still great times, like no doubt about it. So yep, with about 3 minutes left, we're gonna see the last few runs / resets here.
Yeah. They continue it all the way through. This will be the last attempt for all 4.
Indeed. Yeah, I expect might see 1 or 2 resets, but should be getting down to it here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got some great new prizes this year. We got not only the sort of cash prizes put in by the community, sort of crowdfunding the prize pool here, but we also have some very special prize packs donated by Lightning Pirate, which feature some very cool merch and sort of ephemera from the release of the Phantom Menace, which is very fun stuff in there. And it's not too late. It's not too late to enter the tournament. That's technically true.
Yeah, still have 1 week to go if you want to join.
Oh, Dom getting ceiling crushed there. One of my favorite crashes.
Here we go. Hamra on his final lap. Domirae taking a restart.
Yeah, and again, they can reset up until that timer expires, so.
Ooh.
All right, my local timer has expired, so Getting in our last potential resets here. We'll see if anyone wants to reset in the final seconds.
There's Dom resetting on the buzzer.
Dom is just... He refuses to accept his 415. He will not take it. It looks like we will see Hamra finish this run because they're on good enough pace that they can't not
My
finish
timer
it.
run out. Oh, that was a very clean dodge by Hamra. Oh, took the bonk.
It's a bonk there. That's rough. But he does not crash.
That's faster.
Yep.
417.18 or 92. That's certainly faster than what he has put up.
Yeah, a nice PB there. That's got to feel good. Doesn't crash in the last turn. Does a great dozer there. Great stuff. Little game crash to round it off. It's very nice. And yeah, we're locked in here. No more resets. So this will be Nateman's final run, and Metallica's final run, and Dom's final run as well.
Yeah. Next, we're going to be going to Sebulba's Legacy with 10 minutes on the clock. Oh! And I think we have Dom and Nate forfeit in a crash. We're only watching Metallica now, it looks like.
Yep, Metallica will be the final finisher once again. Sailing.
Ooh.
So elegantly sailing.
Change your mind.
Yeah, now we're going to see the other three practicing Sebulba's Legacy, which is the only Malistar track to not be based off a real-life course. We haven't found if it's based off a real-life course, unlike Doug Derby, which is based off of Laguna Seca, and Malistar 100, which is based off Sonoma Raceway.
Yep, SL is a great track, though. One of my favorites.
It's a really tricky track to do it with, and the path that Hamra just took, where that drop is, that has one of the most infamous texture kill spots, and it usually destroys runs. And you see Hamra going for the tunnel. It's slightly faster than taking the longer route on a full track, but you need to be at really high heat to take advantage of it. But we can bet all these players are going to go for it since they are so top level. And here we go, Metallica closing in on his final portion of his final lap of Zugga. Ooh! That might have done something.
I think he's okay. I think he can still use his heat here, but yeah.
Okay, he's gonna max out heat. Let's see what happens. Dodges it.
This may barely be a PB.
Nope.
No. Yeah, comes in with 419 there. So that does not beat his PB at 418.761.
Now we're on to the final track of. Now we're on to the final track of the qualifier in Sebulba's Legacy.
Yep, just checking in with the runners there, telling them to let me know when they're all ready. And yeah, to recap there, we got Hamura came in with a 417.192, Metallica with a 418.761, Nateman with a 418.882, and then Dom with the 415.125. So sort of similar pattern of vengeance there. The other three sort of in a pretty tight pack, but Dom just sort of leaping ahead there.
Yeah. And yeah, this track is oof.
Yeah, Sebulba's Legacy is a very interesting track. It's one that has sort of gone through some meta changes, as there's been sort of some changes to the rule set, depending on things that used to be regarded as not a skip are now regarded as a skip. So you have this sort of shift in the meta where players will choose whether to take the final tunnel in the final bowl section or take the sort of long way around the bowl. And it's really, you know, players will take different routes depending on whether they're at the top, the very tip top skill level, or whether they're just a little step down. And it's always interesting to see what sort of strategies people try to go for here.
Yeah. Ben, though, is really stiff and hard to use on this track, so some lower skill level players at probably a lesser skill level will probably be better off using pods like Bullseye Navoir or Mars Glow.
Yep. In our previous qualifiers, I think we've seen.
Guy went with Bullseye.
Yeah, we've seen Mars, we've seen Bullseye. I don't know if we've seen anybody else, but I expect everybody here will, just go with Ben.
Yeah. Given how high caliber all these players are, I'm guaranteed you'll have all of them go with Ben Quadrados.
All right, I'm going to get the countdown here in 1 second, and we will be underway.
Okay.
And the countdown is given. They will be off pretty soon.
Okay. Time has been given, so yeah. This is the final track of the qualifier. It's also there might be some so we have Metallica off. Now we have the other players. Here we go. Now the rest are going.
Yeah, I've seen Homura grinding this track on stream in particular recently, and the times that they've put up in practice are extremely impressive. I think they're actually number 2 on the leaderboards, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check this real quick.
Yeah. Good. Here we go. Metallica electing to take the longer route, the longer bow to get Ben's boost. Let's see what Dom going for the tunnel. Homura going for the tunnel. And Domirae crashing in the tunnel and restarting. Oh!
Getting a taste here of how punishing this track can be. And Homura is second place, 0.5 seconds behind the world record in full track on this course. So very fearsome competitor here.
Metallica going for the tunnel on lap 2.
Did he go for it on lap 1 as well?
He went for the long route on lap 1, and then went for the tunnel on lap 2.
That's interesting. That is a truly new meta. I cannot explain that one.
I don't know either.
But look, Metallica does what Metallica wants. Okay, we can't be second guessing him here.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's see what he does for the final one. He takes the long route. Let's see. Here we go. It looks like it's going to be a 150.394.
Yep, a great time there. Nothing to sneeze at.
It's a new lap record.
There we go. Domirae out of the second tunnel. Homura out of the second tunnel.
It's actually relatively close to his PB as well. His PB is only a 49.9, I think.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what happens on this final lap.
Oh, kind of messes up the boost
Domirae
there.
electing to go for the tunnel on the final lap. And
Yeah.
we're coming in with a 446.88, 446.861.
That is 3/10 off the world record.
And to make the tunnel fastest on lap 3, you have to be at like the top of the top skill level to pull that off. Because if you're slightly above even that extreme, if you're slightly below even the extreme top tier, it's actually faster to take the longer oxbow.
Yeah, so the differentiator there, the reason that you'll see people take different routes is that the bowl section, if you take the long route around the bowl, it's easier to spend your heat. It's easier to boost for longer, which is going to help you clutch out the end of the track. But if you have a perfect line in the tunnel, you can actually boost less and end up finishing faster. So it's sort of like, yeah, if you can just squeeze out all the boost you can and also take a basically perfect line in the tunnel, then it is faster all 3 laps. And yep, we'll see what Hamura can do here. I mean, yeah, Hamura is the number 2, so we should see a pretty great time here if they clutch out a run.
He might go for the tunnel with how hot he is. Yep, he's going for the tunnel with how hot he is. Here we go.
Yeah, interesting.
We have a 147.794.
Very strong time. Yeah, it's interesting to see he elects for a different boost pattern, sort of splitting his boost in 2 there rather than delaying it and taking a longer boost. And you can see that sort of what's fastest on this track isn't even totally established even at this point in the game, which is pretty
there we go.
Pretty cool to
now
see.
Closing up. He's taking the tunnel on the final portion too. Let's see. He's going in. I think he's going to get a 148.45.
Excellent. And we got
That's a
Metallica.
148.45 free.
Metallica
And
comes
a Metallica with a 49.07. 149.07 flat.
And that is a PB according to the leaderboard sheet. I don't know if that's a PB for him, but maybe.
So now we have the previous records in qualifier for Sebulba's Legacy all smashed by these 4 players.
Oh yeah, do you know what the previous year's record was in qualifying?
Previous qualifier was Paige with a 150 in the last match yesterday.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I thought you meant last year, but yeah, this year. Yeah, but that makes sense. Hammer again, going in the tunnel here for lap 3. Again, using this interesting double boost pattern. Gets
Not faster
48.
though.
Not quite. Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat his 47.784. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. I'm not so sure if all players will be able to do it.
It looks like Homura
Looks like Homer is just playing while he's ahead and playing with Slide on Endo Prime Centrum.
Ah, nice. Yeah, get your yucks in on stream here, Homura. Very funny. But no, I understand that completely. He's got a great time on SL there. It's going to be hard for him to top it, certainly. And yeah, it's going to be probably the number 2 time here, unless Nate and Metallica can really clutch out something here.
Yeah, and we're running out of time to clutch it. Interesting that all 4 of them are electing to take the tunnel on all 3 laps if they make it all the way to lap 3.
Yeah, I love to see it. It shows that they're super confident that they are at the top level and they can do the
Here we
hard
go.
strats.
Here comes Nate coming in. Oh, I just saw that angle coming badly that I knew that would crash would happen. I just saw that angle and it just looked rotten when he exited.
Yeah, it's a delicate sort of ballet getting into the tunnel there on lap 3.
If you watch this game enough or play this game enough, you can tell when a crash is coming just from the angle they exit.
Yeah, something won't look right, and then they've already exploded.
Looks like Homura has voluntarily quit his game.
He's booting up Minecraft. He's gonna play SL in Minecraft next. I don't think he's doing that. That would be cool though. Nice tunnel there from Nate. Good lines. Yeah, all the rest of these guys just going full tilt the entire time, which, yeah, love to see it. Oh, Metallica not having a good tunnel there, lap 2.
Looks like they're restarting on the buzzer.
I didn't see what happened to Nateman there to cause that reset, but...
Timer's up on my end.
Yeah, I think that was probably the last reset for them, though there is also that stream delay, so...
Yeah. Okay, Metallica has exhausted his timer, so he can't do any more restarts. Dom looks like he's gonna finish this final run on the buzzer. Ran out of time as he's coming into the final. And he comes in with a 146.67 on the buzzer. 146.671 on the buzzer.
Yep, that is 1/10 off of world record.
Now we're just waiting on Nateman to finish up this epic qualifier. Ooh, that was so sketchy.
So yeah, he's got a 48.45, and we'll just have to see if he can improve on that at all here.
Okay, he's on the final lap. This is the final lap of the qualifier.
Oh, it can't clutch it out. Brutal.
And this qualifier is over, with all of them now entering the top 4.
Yep, indeed. That was just an incredible showing from everyone that competed there, and I don't have the standings in front of me, but I think it's safe to say that you're looking at the current top 4 in terms of qualifying rank.
No ifs, ands, or buts. And Domirae showing off his fondness for Jin Risa, which is a reskin of Mars Glow. So, think we could get them in for interviews now that this time is up?
Yeah, I will call them in here in one moment. We'll get them up, the players up to do a little post-match interview here. 1 sec. Dom, hello.
Hello.
Nice. Yeah, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Oh, things pretty good, pretty good. I'm a little bit upset that I choked that vengeance run at the end of that session, but other than that, I feel good.
Oh yeah, I remember which one you're talking about there. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Welcome Metallica, welcome Homura as well. Excellent job.
Hello. Yeah, I did pretty well, kind of what I expected, because I got those times during practice. But I don't know, I was having difficulties on Sura. with the second lap 2 with the dozer. I'm not sure
Yeah.
why. I don't know. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
the,
why
the
I wasn't getting the fight.
yeah, the dozer was not your friend on Saga today. I think you had some difficulties with it on a couple laps, and neither was the final curve there. You kind of exploded there quite a few times on some really good runs, especially that first one. You had like a real heartbreaker coming in at like 416 probably, and then just crashing there. But regardless, you still pulled out like a super great time on it in the end anyway. So
Yeah, if there's one thing I've noticed about Zug, it's that lap 2 dozer is the one that's the real problem once you start going fast enough. It just keeps being harder and harder to jump over it, and lap 3 gets easier and easier as you go faster.
And so I'll just go ahead and we do have the sort of updated standings here, and I'll just read them off real quick. So after that, all four of you obviously, well not obviously, but you have taken top four. Dom's got 300, Hamura placed in second, Nateman in third, and then Metallica in fourth. And the points too. Dom has 300, Hamura has 218, Nate has 194, and Metallica 157. So pretty close there, like in the bottom three there, in the sort of the middle of the pack especially. That was really cool to see, just all the way through, just like some really competitive times. And it wasn't a head-to-head match, but it really felt like it for a lot of the races there.
Yeah, all you just went completely flat out.
Yeah, that's super awesome to hear how good the other three did. Obviously, we all have our own self-expectations and what we want, but hearing about how good everybody else did in this quals, and I did expect everybody to do good in this. I looked at this lineup and I was like, okay, this is the quals to watch. This is going to be really good.
Yeah, there were some great
sure
performances. Yeah, how were you feeling, Metallica? How did you think you did, coming in and versus how it went for you?
It went pretty well, actually. I'm pretty happy with the results. I'm especially happy that I managed to beat Nateman on Saga Challenge, because I thought I was just gonna be last on all three tracks.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, you did end up beating him there by, what was it? By a full 10th there. So that was
also Metallica GG on the PB for Zugga, man.
Oh,
Did it twice in one thing.
yeah,
like
twice.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, twice. I don't know.
That is really cool. And according to the spreadsheet leaderboard thing, was that a PB on SL as well, or was that a fake PB?
Oh,
Did
well,
you have a better time?
It's probably a PB on the timesheet, but it's not a real PB on my own timesheet, as I
Yeah,
haven't been
gotcha.
updating it.
Gotcha. It
Been
wouldn't
keeping it
be.
secret.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a true racer player without a secret set of PBs. So.
Just ask about Mikey Berger, who just went secret after I retired a decade ago.
Yeah.
You gotta fight to get times out of that, man.
Yeah, the winner of last year's tournament, who has now entered and will be possibly trying to repeat this year. Yeah, he's got a lot of secret times, and so it's always, adds an element of intrigue and mystique. But yeah, no, really great stuff. It was really like you guys were neck and neck so much throughout so many of those races, and like it really felt like you were just like racing one another, even though it was just qualifying, which was a lot of fun. What do you think? Did you have? Oh yeah, we don't have Nateman in here, unfortunately. I was gonna ask him something, but I forgot he wasn't here.
Yeah, it seemed like he did okay, but that he was a little bit disappointed on choking a couple times. At least that's what the impression I got was from the chat log.
Yeah, he had some tough crashes for sure, but he definitely put up some very strong times. So
yeah, I'll be very interested to see how good this top four stands after everybody else competes. I think the three people that have the best chances of usurping some are Ace, Harold, and now that Mike's entered, Mike would be in the fray as well.
yeah, certainly. I don't think I haven't looked at the entire full list of entrants, but yeah, Ace is very likely to be in top 8, and Mikey and Harold as well, which means that I feel like Metallica is probably still safe, but it could get close there. It's gonna be really
I
interesting to
don't
watch.
know. Seems a little scary, to be honest.
Field's just so good nowadays. So many people who can get top 8.
Oh yeah,
Particularly
no,
with how many joined on the last minute.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's been really cool seeing like all the new runners, especially like Nate and Harold and everyone that's super strong and entering this year. It's very cool. And yeah, let's see. I guess when's our next qualifying coming up here?
I think
Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern, and that will be between, I think, Nock, Liliat Dryad, and Digital Unity.
Yep. And I will be doing commentary on that. I'm not sure if anybody else has joined yet.
Nice. So yeah, I don't know. Any final thoughts, anybody, about the performance or qualifying, how it went, or some trash talk, maybe?
I came in expecting all of you to clinch top 4 at the moment and smash the previous time setting qualifying.
And that they did. I think, yeah, all times were smashed successfully. So
Yeah, last thing that I'll say is just GG to everybody. It was a great time qualifying with you guys. I look forward to seeing how all of you do in the actual bracket. And of course, Draco Yem, thanks as always for the commentary. You guys are awesome. I look forward to watching it back afterwards and hearing all of the great times.
oh, of course, absolutely. And yeah, thank you guys. Great racing, Hamra, Metallica, Dom, and Nate. He's not here, but great racing, Nate too. Yeah, I guess we could probably wrap it up here. Thanks so much everybody for watching. Thanks SpeedGaming for hosting and helping scramble to figure out our technical difficulties at the beginning there. It is much appreciated. Thank you to Balmus for doing tracking there, which would have been extremely hectic had we tried to do that ourselves. So thank you very much to her. And yeah, I guess we will see you guys on Wednesday for the next round of qualifying. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night. May the force be with you.